Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. Today I'm celebrating my Barcelona anniversary. I'm British and I live in Barcelona and I've been here for many years, and I arrived on the 15th of May, so it's a very special day for me that I tried to celebrate. Anyway, earlier today I put a post on Instagram about this anniversary and I explained in maybe 1,700 characters about my how I arrived in Barcelona, etc. And I thought I would explain a bit more about my story here because it's quite a struggle, to put it mildly. And I'm thinking maybe I should make a playlist called Storytime Struggles or something like that because this is quite intense. Anyway, I was living in Madrid for a year and a bit, and I wasn't really happy there. I guess I was looking for it sounds really weird, but a Spanish Paris, because I'd lived in Paris and I caught Latin fever there. But I didn't want to come to Barcelona because of the Catalan thing. I thought, how am I going to learn Spanish in a place where they speak a different language and they've got all this independent stuff going on? So I went to Madrid. But I was incredibly disappointed with Madrid when I was there. But then I found a boyfriend and I had a job, and then I kind of got caught up in life. And it's not so easy to just pick up and leave when you don't like stuff, you know. So as time went by in Madrid, I finally kind of was getting more and more sick of it, to be honest. And I was working as an English teacher, which wasn't the job of my dreams by any means. And I happened to have a student who was from Barcelona. And just being with him was like, oh my God, I want to live in Barcelona. Anyway, he was living in Madrid most of the time, but he had an apartment in Barcelona. And he said, why don't you use this website to look for work in Barcelona, and you can use my address. And I thought, wicked, that's amazing. So anyway, I applied for some sales jobs. And there was a job that was hiring lots and lots of people, so it was going to be easy to get it. And I got the job without even having to go to Barcelona, which was a bit kind of crazy. No, actually, I went to Barcelona for an interview, and they hired me straight away. But it was a kind of job that they were taking on loads of people, and the job was probably the worst job I've ever done in my life, which was door-to-door sales. And for some people, they can do it because they've got the gift of the gab and whatever. But for me, it was just terrible. So anyway, I told my boyfriend in Madrid that I was leaving. I left my job. And it was a kind of now or never moment. So I had this courage, it was a leap of faith into the unknown. I had no idea what was awaiting me in Barcelona. So I took a night train, and because back in that time there was no fast train like there is now. Like for example, now you can go to Madrid in 2.5 hours, whereas back then it was a 7-hour journey, and the night train was about 9 hours or something. So I got a night train, and I was in this cabin of, I think it was 6 beds for women only. And I said goodbye to my boyfriend in the train station. I was crying my eyes out. And then he left. We said goodbye. And the train starts moving, and I went into my cabin, and I'd been crying. And all these women who were in that cabin said to me, oh, what's wrong? So I explained, I said goodbye to my boyfriend, and they said to me, you can come back. It's not too far. And I thought, nah, I won't be back. So then I went to the bar and had half a bottle of wine, wrote in my diary, and I seemed to be quite happy at that time. And then I went to my bed in the cabin, and the next morning we're supposed to arrive in Barcelona at 7 a.m. and I woke up just around 6 a.m, so an hour before arriving in Barcelona. And I would just kind of woke up and I had this really empty feeling, and I was just thinking, who's gonna hug me now? Because obviously I just left an amazing boyfriend. So I was thinking, oh no. And I felt so empty and kind of a bit scared. And then I got up to go to the loo, and as I exited the cabin, I suddenly saw this beach and palm trees. I was like, yes, I've made the right decision. This is so cool to actually live in a place that's on the coast, and it's going to have on the Mediterranean with sandy beaches and palm trees. It was so exotic. So anyway, I arrived in the train station, Sants train station, and I didn't really know. I visited Barcelona as a tourist many times before then. So I didn't know it as well as I do now. But anyway, I just literally got a taxi and said, La Rambla, por favor. Which is, if anyone has visited Barcelona, you'll know that Las Ramblas is a very touristy place. and there were lots of hostels there. So I stayed in a hostel. I don't know what I was thinking, because at this point I didn't realize how little money I had in my bank account. I was, at the time, I just used to spend money until the cash point wouldn't give anymore. So I didn't even plan this at all. It was really, really bad. And then when the taxi driver took me to the Rambla, I saw these posters all over Barcelona. Paris, Barcelona, and it was a train station called Estación de França with a suitcase, and it was advertising an exhibition at the Picasso Museum. And I thought, oh my God, it's my life story. A train. I lived in Paris. I'm now coming to Barcelona, so it just meant a lot to me. I thought it was like a divine sign from the universe saying, this is your destiny. So I decided to actually go and steal one in the street. It was quite cool. And I went to the exhibition as well, which was great. And then after a few days, I met up with the guy who had been my student in Madrid, because he used to come to Barcelona at the weekends. And I told him I was staying in a hostel, and he was just like, just stay in my place, I'll give you the keys. So he gave me the keys. Well, I went to visit, and it was amazing. It was just outside Barcelona, a duplex apartment with a swimming pool, and I was able to stay there for free until I found my own place. And I thought, well, with an offer like that, I cannot say no. So I was there in the week, and then I would be going to Barcelona for my terrible job, knocking on people's doors. Even though it was a really terrible job, we used to have sales meetings every morning, and all the other people who were my colleagues were so nice to me. They really helped me with my Spanish, because my Spanish was pretty terrible at the time, and they used to help me with these phrases, because it was fibre optic internet. Do you know that your building has fibre optic connection and you can enjoy super fast internet and TV, blah, blah, blah. So I was learning all these phrases and knocking on doors, and so that was quite a struggle. And then at the weekend, this guy would come back, and it was a bit tense whenever he came back. Yeah, it was a very awful situation, because sometimes I'd made new friends in my job, and I would stay over at their houses in Barcelona. I'd met a really nice girl from Andalusia. I would stay at her place over the weekend, and then he would kind of get mad at me because he wasn't able to see me. And I was just thinking, I don't know, it was a bit weird. And one day when I was actually at his apartment, he came out of the shower and with his toweling robe on, and it wasn't quite closed, if you see what I mean. So yeah, it wasn't quite covering what it's supposed to cover, and everything was kind of hanging out. And I was just absolutely, I felt so scared and uncomfortable. And I told this to some of my friends in my work, and as I was noting down vocabulary all the time, I learned three words: albornoz, dressing gown; abierto, I knew that one, open; a propósito, which means on purpose. And I was like, oh no, it was awful. Yeah, so obviously I felt very, very uncomfortable there. And so that situation was just really uncomfortable. And I told a friend in Madrid about it, and that I was looking for a new place. This guy actually told me that I should leave, or he just made up some story about one of his friends needing the room, which I know was kind of a load of crap. I just thought, this guy just wants me out. So anyway, I told a friend, a very good friend from Madrid, about this. And he told me, look, I'm going to lend you some money so you can, pay for a deposit for a room or rental or something like that. So he gave me this money, fortunately, and he kind of saved my life. My friends really saved my life. So that was really cool. But then a couple of days after that incident, or after kind of being told I had to leave, I then lost my job, which was just absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, I just made this massive decision to leave Madrid, and I was in the unknown. Obviously, the people I'd met, I'd only known for about a month or something, but so we didn't have any deep connections. But I felt completely a bit silly, really. I was just thinking, oh my God, what do I do now? And so what did I do then? So I went to find an apartment, but I didn't tell the apartment that I didn't have a job. It was just all kind of living a lie. And at that time, when I was just moving apartments, I also, what else happened? My parents came to visit me, and I was doing job interviews left, right, and centre. So I was always kind of in a suit and kind of dressed up really nice. And my parents thought I was doing really well in life, and I was just lying to them, saying, oh yeah, work, when I was actually going for job interviews. So I was completely living a lie. Also, my flatmates didn't know that I didn't have a job to pay the rent. So that was really, really hard. And also when my parents weren't there, I was eating once a day. I thought, how can I, because I had about 400 euros in the bank when I had left the job and left that apartment with this guy. So I was trying to think, how can I eat and have nutrition for the least money possible. So I thought gazpacho, which is a kind of cold tomato soup, which doesn't sound very appetizing, but it also has, I think it's got onion and cucumber and garlic, I think, and a bit of olive oil. And it's a very refreshing on a summer's day. And I had that every day. And I had potatoes. It's got sacks of potatoes and made chips, and that's all I had basically, and tap water. So yeah, so it's really hard to kind of go to bed every night quite hungry. And I love my food, so it was really, 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 really hard. Yeah, so I had so much gazpacho that I couldn't have it for years. I'm only getting back into it now, but it was a lifesaver at the time. And what else happened? Oh yeah, so when I was also when I was looking for work, I didn't have my own computer, and internet was not as popular as it is now. There was no Wi-Fi in the apartment I was living in, so basically I had to. I didn't have any yellow pages or anything either. So I'm literally walking the streets of Barcelona looking for different agencies, just walking and walking and walking. I didn't really know what was where. I mean, that's something that we take for granted now. We just Google, you just go on your phone. Obviously, there weren't smartphones back then. So I was literally just didn't know what I was doing and I think I was out of work for about 2 weeks, which is doesn't sound like a long time, but it was a long time when you don't know what's happening, when you kind of not really know what's happening or where your next money is coming from. So fortunately, I did find a job in a call center, and I was on the French team for General Electric because I spoke French, fortunately, so that really helped me, because I was on a mission to not become an English teacher again. I was really sick of teaching English as I'd done in Madrid, and I was a qualified English teacher, but I thought I want to do something else. So fortunately, I was speaking French all day, and I made lots of French friends there, and some of them are still my friends today, which is fantastic. But it was really funny because when I was kind of eating once a day and looking for work, even though I was really struggling, I had this amazing magnetic energy about me. And because I was just so happy to be in Barcelona despite my struggles. And I found that I was getting a lot of male attention and a lot of I was getting asked out on dates all the time. I remember one day I had 3 dates in a day. We're not talking sex, I'm just talking like meeting up for a coffee. And then I would tell the guy in question about my struggles and my story. And they're like, do you want some tortilla? I was like, yes, please, yes, please. So I was kind of like using my dates to eat kind of thing. But everything was fantastic. It wasn't like, they ended up being quite good friends in the end. It wasn't really a sexual thing. And I did want to kind of, as I'd come out of a relationship, I really wasn't in a rush to have sex either, because so when I met these guys, they'd ask me if I had a boyfriend or whatever, and I'd say, no, I'm a virgin of Barcelona. and it's real quite funny because I went to live in the apartment I got was on a street called Virgin of Montserrat. So I kind of like played with that when I was having my dates, thinking who's going to take my Barcelona virginity or my Virgen de Montserrat virginity. So that was just really, really, really funny. Yeah, so what else? So everything was fine for a while in my job with General Electric, even though I'd never dreamed of being an IT help desk person. I was so happy to actually speak French all day and then speak Spanish at home, I thought, because I'm such a linguist, and it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. And then I was kind of paranoid after you're losing your job. I think that kind of made me really work obsessed, which was good sometimes in my life, but it's also kind of it has been detrimental to other areas of my life, because it started a kind of like lifestyle where I was kind of really obsessed with work and not paying as much attention to other areas in my life. And I'm trying to kind of find that balance now, all these years later. Yeah, so that is my story about Barcelona, and there have been many things that I've done over the years here. I have had many jobs, etc. But I did have a lot of work instability for many years. Yeah, for after the General Electric thing. Then I became export salesperson, and so I had several short contracts, longer contracts, and a lot of kind of instability really, until I became Venus O'Hara, which has just been the best thing ever. So now I feel really, really, really happy to be in this apartment, and I don't have to put up with anyone. I don't have to put up with open what's it called, dressing gowns, or people bullying me, like I told you in my last video called what was it called again, the painful event that triggered my spiritual awakening. So I feel very proud of my progress at the moment, and the fact that I've kind of created a job for myself that it's just unique to be a sex toy reviewer, developer, and designer, etc. And yeah, so that's it. So I'm very, 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 very proud. And sometimes when you look back at the struggles, one might laugh. I mean, I kind of find it all funny, but it wasn't at the time, I tell you. But they are quite good stories to celebrate perseverance, definitely. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this story, and if you would like to hear more story time struggles, I've got many to share. I did consider that they might be a bit too personal at some points, but I think why not share them if they inspire someone, and they can be a little bit entertaining as well. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for new videos, don't hesitate to contact me at venus@venusohara.org or on Instagram @venusohara. Thanks for watching.